been on these calls for a long time, but if y'all know anything about me, y'all know I love my students, and especially my OGs, like the first batch, like Angelica, Miss Barbara, all of them. Okay, so I got some news for y'all. Miss Barbara just got married. Okay, so we gonna tell her congratulations. Okay, cause listen,
Congrats.
I need to take some notes.
Congratulations.
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 Congratulations, Miss Barbara.
Yes.
Listen, I need to take some notes. I'm Miss Barbara Book because Miss Barbara bagging the men at 66 years old, okay? And I'm still single. So, Miss Barbara, teach me. We going to your school. We going to your school.
I'm
Listen,
taking new students.
listen. Miss Barbara bagging the pips and the men, okay? For real. But okay, next order of business. I have to Stacy, are you on this call?
I am.
Hi, Stacy. Everybody meet Stacy.
Hey, girl.
All right, so funny story about Stacy. I used to train with her like years ago when I first graduated from Spelman in like 2014. I was a personal trainer, right? And Stacy came upon me, I don't know. She's like, girl, I've been following me for a long time, and like, I don't know if you remember me, blah, 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 but I want to take your course. And then at first I was like, okay, like, let me just figure it out. Cause like people that I know for a long time or something, I'd be trying to figure it out. Okay. So anyways, I was like, girl, like, have you been trading before? Because y'all know I don't really take people from scratch. But let me just say how proud I am of Stacy because she literally came into the course and literally during the course, she was like, just like, I just want to make sure it's all coming together. I just want to make sure it's all coming together. And Stacy just graduated, okay? And she called 500 pips this week in her real account, okay? So we gonna snap it up for Stacy.
Congratulations.
Oh,
Congratulations, Stacy. Way to go. Way
Congratulations.
to
Stacy.
go.
Go, Stacy.
Thank you.
Yes. So
500 pips.
we had yes, 500. She took literally all the trades that she marked up for the week. But listen, I'm here for it, okay? Because the last 4 weeks of the course, you do markups. So you can get your confidence up and see like that you can actually see the market. So when you consistently see the markups playing out, that gives you the confidence to actually place the trades, which is why y'all know with me, I keep my ghost patterns on there because I mean, really, that's everything for me, for real, for real. But I'm just super proud of her, Stacy. So I had to give you your flowers in front of everybody, girl, and say congratulations. Okay.
Thank you so much, Jess. It's all because of you, girl. I appreciate you, girl. I love you.
I love you too. Is there anything else you want to say?
Y'all, if y'all come up with your money and just decide you are a student for her, it is well worth it. You're going to want to kill yourself after homework 2 because homework 2 is, I heard it on the class before, like on Sunday and Monday night calls, but you really don't understand, so you have to do it yourself. But it's so worth it, worth the time, and I appreciate her. I see the market so much clearer. If I do mess up on a trade, at least I can go back and say, oh, I didn't put this part together. I missed this part of my cake, and it makes sense versus losing a trade and I don't know why I lost it. But I can also say that I am winning 87% of my trades as well, too. So,
Heard you.
so I'm super excited.
I'm super excited. I'll be happy. Listen, I told y'all the whole goal. Listen, I don't need just Miss Barbara, Angelica, and Chantel and all of them catching the money. We got all my students, y'all we going on a private jet, okay? Everybody.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so next, I do want to kind of piggyback off of the psychology call that we talked about last Sunday, just because I don't have the recording for that. And I know it's something that a lot of people need. Somebody even wrote me like this long thing on Instagram and was like, like if I could listen to this every day, it would really help my trading. And then I felt horrible because I was like, dang, we don't even do psychology all the time. All the markups I be saving. And so one psychology call we done did in a long time, like with my graduated students, I do psychology with them like once a quarter. But y'all, I ain't really tapped into psychology with y'all until I think the last time was when I had like Dr. T on here. It's been a long while. It's been a long minute. So I do want to kind of piggyback off of some of those concepts that we talked about last week. And also, I'm going to open the room to if you guys have questions about any of those concepts, let me know, because I will tell anybody this, and this is just real shit, okay? If you do not get this together, this brain and your emotions, like, you cannot trade. I don't care what you learn. If you don't even have the confidence to place a trade, you're not going to make money. So like, psychology is everything. And I don't even do it from like, it's not a motivational speech. It's not a motivational talk. Like, I can care less about a motivational talk. Half the people know what they need to do in life and still don't do it. People know they don't need to eat McDonald's and they still eat BS knowing that they want to pop in body. Like, this ain't no motivational anything. It is more so of a sense of like, when it comes to trading, like real trading, we ain't talking about this IML signal stuff. We talking about placing trades in your actual account and analyzing the market and having the actual confidence and conviction and confluences to place that analysis and commit to your trade and know that it's going to work out. Listen, it is a real thing. And like I mentioned last week, well, we can do a little bit of it now, and then I'm gonna go into the charts and then I'll break down at the end. But like I mentioned last week, a lot of people, what they'll do is the fear, and I talked about this last week. So for y'all that heard it, y'all that's new, it's probably gonna be new, but y'all that heard it, I just wanted on recording for y'all to have. But people replace the fear and hope in two different opposite ways. So when people are in losing trades, they're hopeful that the trades will turn around, opposed to being hopeful of your profits. And when you are in winning trades, you're fearful that your account's going to go back red. So you don't even give your trade room to breathe. You let it go like 4 or 5 pips in profit just when it's blue, and then you pull the entire trade, right? So that's something that I feel like people should like literally write in their trading journal and just like put that down as facts. Fear versus hope, and understanding which to use. But also, before anything, you definitely have to get the knowledge, because if you are trading without even proper knowledge, then I mean, that's just risk in itself. Warren Buffett has a quote that says, risk comes from not knowing what you're doing, and that is literally everything. So also last week, we talked about the difference between different people. Like, emotion wise, you have the people that are really just overconfident. Then you have the people that are literally scared of everything. And that stems from, as Barbara even said one time, she said it stems from childhood, and your entire life, you got to know that you own it. That was Miss Barbara words, not mine. But I think it more so stems from not really, I don't even want to say, having it together, but just like having confidence in yourself. Like, some people, it's a certain like aura that you got to exude. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to know that, like, some people, I can give somebody a compliment, and this a little left field, but I'm gonna bring it back. So just stick with the concept. I can give somebody a compliment. I mean, dang, what was I about to say? Compliment. Yes. I could give somebody a compliment, and I'm sorry, y'all. I went to this party last night, so I haven't really went to sleep, but and then I've been out all day. But I could give somebody a compliment and say, "You look beautiful today." And then somebody say, "What, me? What? Have you ever heard somebody say that or done that?" And then somebody be like, "What, me? Like, girl, I look crazy right now." No,
it's me. It's me.
No, it's not you, but I'm just saying, like, little stuff like that, like what you tell yourself is everything. You know what I'm saying? And just like having that confidence and knowing who you are is a direct correlation to what you do on the charts. Like, your mindset, how you move, how you act, how you operate in your day-to-day activities, what it is that you're doing, even thought process wise. I'm not talking about, let me put this like in perspective. I'm not talking about in the sense of like oh, I'm going to be confident today. I know I'm going to have confidence, like yada, yada, yada. Not like, I'm not talking about like the shit that you see on Instagram, basically. Like, oh, I'm going to act like this, right? I'm talking about being able to operate in this space that is, I know what I know, and I'm gonna stick to what I know, and I'm gonna have the discipline to carry out what it is that I know that I need to carry out. Does that make sense? Not just in trading, but in life. And I tell my students this also, like, it doesn't just start on the charts. Even small things with working out, or small promises that you make to yourself that you don't even keep up with. You know what I'm saying? It's you. Like, some people will say, and I y'all know I used to train people, so I always have to use this like fitness concept just a little bit. Some people will say like, I want to lose weight, and you know what you need to do to lose weight, right? But you keep doing the bullshit that's the exact opposite of actually losing weight. People will be in a relationship that is completely toxic for them, and you know the person that you with, you gonna get the same thing and the same results, but you staying, or you're choosing to stay in that space. When it comes to trading, you know that you should get your confirmations first, not just jump in the trade, or you know that certain positions that you're in, you know you should not over leverage your account, but just because you have an impulsive like, oh my God, like, I know this trade's gonna play out, so let me just over leverage, and then you mad when your account blow. But it's like, bro, you know this before you even try to place a trade. Like, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? So being committed to being the best version of yourself in every capacity is the totality of what I was trying to say. Okay, even though I just spun it around. Anyway, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into some charts and let's recap last week's markups and then go into this week's markups. So last week, remember GU literally on this call, this was this actual candle here. And we were talking about waiting to see like how this candle closed. Because remember, we talked about this can push back down to this trend line, but ultimately it ended up breaking it. And this was what I sent, like, I think I sent it like 3 a.m. in the morning and was like, carry it to this minor structure TP. So that ended up playing that structure out right there. Omar talked me into remarking it on completely clean charts. So I told him I'd do a few, but I'm going back to my other charts. But here we are. So with GU from point A to point B, price hit this first -27 TP1 on major structure. Okay, so I'm gonna write this out so you guys can see this. So here's our major structure impulse. If you guys see, this is 100 to 0 right here. Price pulled back here, hit TP1 here, which is -27. This is major structure. Then we have our minor structure. The one that I just showed y'all is kind of like minor, but then we have this minor structure in here. So then we had that little, well, this is a minor structure. So actually this is the one that I just showed y'all on the, on that first part. But this is, so we have a lot of time frames that I'm kind of working with that I'm trying to show y'all. Students, this is actually basically second assignment, but this is this impulse, follow the orange for this structure that we're on right now. So you have this impulse here, price pulls back. It was actually a full retrace, which is 100%. So a lot of people call these double bottoms there. Then you have TP1 here, hit here, and then we have a bounce off of the backside of this 4-hour trend line. This is a 1-hour trend line that I drew across the top of this. So now this first impulse down right here, actually, let me put a fib on this minor structure so y'all can see it here. Oh, actually I already drew it, sorry. Okay, so this minor structure right here, this is our impulse. So point A to point B, 100 to 0. Price pulls back to 78.6. Here we have a break of this 1-hour trend line. So now the analysis for this week, I have a pullback. Don't take the sell until price touches here. Also, that's why I like my actual of the charts, but this would be a zone here. Wait for price to pull back here. So this candle already started pushing up when the market opened a little bit. The only thing I wanted to make sure was that price wasn't going to gap down there. But anyway, from there, then I have a negative 27 right here. So this is like a little small pullback that'll be happening. Actually, I can put this at this low here. The first move, and I tell my students this all the time because it's something that's super important. Don't care about what's going to happen later on in the week. Focus on right now. So the right now move is the pullback. Look and see how far that price is going to pull back. And if you don't know how to trade minor structure, just put a trend line at the bottom of this minor structure. Once that minor structure breaks and retests that minor structure trend line, then you will hop in for a sale and then carry it to basically your TPs from there. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully it does. EU. This, okay, so let's talk about EU, okay? Because I mixed up the calls that I talked about EU on. So y'all know we like literally for 2 weeks we've been waiting on a sale for EU. And remember on it had hit our negative 61.8, but price was still pushing up a little bit. So I told y'all to like wait on it until you have a break of that 4-hour trend line. So this was the 4-hour trend line here. Really all price did, and I'm gonna go to the higher time frame so you guys can see this. So this monthly here, the yellow there is the monthly. Hold on. This is the daily here. So if I were to put a fib from here to here, I don't keep daily fibs on my chart, and I'm not going to because it's just going to be even way more lines. But this is a negative 27 right here. So let me just show y'all so y'all can see it. So from this impulse, this pulled back 23.6. This hit negative 27 right here. So I'm going to delete that now. But where it hit negative 27 was the start of our daily downtrend, which is basically this structure here. Then we have price from point A to point B, boom, here, wait, here. Point A to point B, price pulled back. This gave us a second point. So trend lines, you need 2 points to validate a trend line. That gave us the second point of our trend line. Then we hit TP1, TP2, negative 61.8 is a what?
Reversal.
Reversal.
Yep, so we reversed at that negative 61.8. Then we had the start of our impulse structure. Remember, y'all know this buy was the one that I had put in the group for forever when we were waiting on this buy, because it was like clear divergence on smaller time frames. It was a beautiful buy. And then this just ended up pushing. So last week, remember we had exceeded that negative 26. I mean, we had exceeded that negative 61.8 because of that minor structure. So that's why I was like, wait on it, because I knew it had the potential to push up to that daily trend line. So this is where we were last week, where I had this blue zone. So you see this negative 61.8 right here was broken. And then we had a retest of it. But then that retest just came to our daily trend line, but it did not reject our daily trend line. It respected it. So even though it broke through, it didn't give us a break and retest for a buy. It ended up respecting that structure on the daily. So here, and this is why we always talk about like those breaks and retests and why they're so important. Students, when I talk about wait for price to push away, opposed to sitting on a trend line, it is so you don't get faked out, okay? So here, point 1.2, this gave us our third point last week, which was here. Then Friday, we had a beautiful sale here. Boom, boom, boom. So when we had that sale, we broke this 4-hour trend line right here. We had a minor structure break and retest on minor structure right here, but you have to understand minor structure to even see that. So that is for students. But with this last impulse here, we have point A to point B, price pull back. So this is the TP that I have for actual Euro USD is 1.9888 right here. But just like GU, I had it pulling back first. And when it pulls back, look to see how far, just like GU, more candles have to form because a lot of moves happened late last week, whereas typically most of the moves have been happening early in the week. So by the time the end of the week comes and weekends, we actually have structure to draw those trend lines on. Right now, we don't have a pullback structure to really draw a trend line on because it's only like 3 candles, 4. So you actually need a trend to be formed to draw that trend line to have they break and retest, because you can't draw on something that's not there, right? But it already started pulling back when the market opened. So you want to see price pull back to this zone here, inside of this zone, okay? So I'm looking for price to come back to around here. But listen, like I tell my students all the time, like, don't care about what's happening later in the week. Only care about what you see right now. Like, what is your right now money? That is how you don't get in drawdown. What is your right now money? What is the market doing right now? What is the market giving you right now? Well, we already did this. Same thing pretty much for GJ. Oh no. Oh no, when did this happen? What time is it? 8 o'clock. Okay, well, this already started kind of playing out, but let me go out so I can break it in. So on GJ been pushing up since September for real, but point A to point B, price hasn't hit this negative 61.8 yet. It's been ranging in between this negative 27 and this negative 61.8 on major structure. If y'all see this, zoom out so y'all can see this. So we have point A to point B right here. Price pulls back. This is a daily. It broke through this daily. Here, it's just been on like a massive push up. But the reason it hasn't hit this negative 61.8 on this structure is because where are we? What is this dotted line? Well, actually, I'm not talking, this ain't the 1130 call. I'm sorry. Y'all don't know. Oh, well, somebody does know what it is. Okay, so this is
Weekly.
a weekly. So this is a weekly foundation level, which basically means consolidation. So price is consolidating there, which is why you have this big range, which is really this entire thing right here. So where GJ is right now, that is a very strong impulse down right here. We broke this trend line. We retested this 4-hour trend line. However, we also broke and retested this 1-hour trend line. So I'm expecting a pullback on here first. Then you'll look and see, okay, is price gonna come? Like, I only have it going right here first because, oh, let me go to minor structure real quick. Because of this little consolidating area here in minor structure, and it just was not like, it's one of those ones where it's like, okay, it's like, it's gonna be quick moves because we're in the middle of such a big consolidation area. But you know, with GJ, when you're in the middle of consolidation, that's easily 100 pips. So just because you're in a consolidation area doesn't mean that like you can't trade within that area. I'm just really upset that this has really been pushing up since the market open, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, that's that. Once that gets there, I want to see how kind of price plays out. But long term, which really I don't like giving long term on here just because it's not about to happen right now. So we'll probably rehab this conversation next week. But long term, like after this hits here, we're expecting it to come all the way back down here, and then it will probably range again until it comes all the way back up here. But again, that's like weeks from now. Like this can literally be like next month, because mind you, this has been consolidating in this range for like damn near a month already. Okay. Let's see. All right, let me go back to my actual charts. So gold. If y'all are new to these calls and y'all wonder why my charts look like this, it's because this is how I keep my version of my trading journal, and this is how I got a bomb at trading, because when I don't delete my charts and I just look at everything that I did, it's just an accumulation of greatness. Like, it looks like masterpiece to me, but I think to some people they be like, girl, what is that? But then the crazy thing is all my students, like, once you understand what I'm doing, they always be like, at the end, they be like, oh my God, I understand it. I see it. So yeah. But anyway, so this was gold. Hold on, actually, let me see where we were last week in the chat, because I think we talked about gold having that minor structure first. And then I know on the group we talked about, so we had that minor structure first. Because, okay, so remember last week we talked about gold needed to break and retest that 4-hour trend line. Do not sell until they broke and retested that 4-hour trend line unless you understood minor structure, okay? Which was very imperative, because again, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is what I mean by you could trade in the middle of consolidation and make money all day long, but you have to understand minor structure in order to do so, because it's easy money, right? So here, these were the consolidating ranges. So actually Malik had marked this up last week, and I think everybody had gold like breaking down right here. And then on Sunday's call last week, remember I told y'all to watch for gold to come to this small resistance area here, kind of like I have GU and GJ right now, which is that minor structure. So it came here, and then I had TP set right there. You should never, ever, 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 ever try to foresee into the future when it comes to trading beyond what you see right now, because trading is like a conversation with somebody. You say something and they converse back with you, and then you understand what they're saying before you speak again, opposed to talking over someone else. Like, it's like communication skills. So you're communicating with the market. That's good. I should write that one down, right? But it's for real though. Like, let the market talk to you in the sense of let it show you what it's doing before you just assume what's about to happen. You need to see, right? Everything is seen. So here, after we had this pullback, so remember last week, or actually not last week, the week before last, this was last Friday, not yesterday, or I'm sorry, not 3 days ago Friday. This was the Friday before last where we had that strong impulse. The market closed literally like here. This was like 9 and 10 a.m. and then it consolidated for the rest of the day and ended up here. And when we analyzed last Sunday, this is where we were when I said, take this buy to here. Right here, okay? So at that point, when price came to this level of resistance, again, it played around in this zone literally, I don't know, all week. And then one of my students, where is it? Because I have to shout him out real quick. So look at, hold on. Wait, where is it? Because I'm just super proud of him. Hold on. Dang, where is it? Is this it? Okay, this was it. This was the minor structure sell that he had play out to this -27. But this was what I meant by when I told y'all in the group, do not trade minor structure like until you understand it, because if you don't, you will be messed up. So he actually understands minor structure. So he called out this sell to this -27, which if I go back to the charts, this is here, this whole structure here. So this is where this ended up playing out to. I have it at -61.8 because I have it on my first fib. He drew it on his second impulse, which once you understand minor structure, you can draw it on either one. It's just understanding. Somebody just say something? Okay, it's just an understanding of either a continuation of a trend. Okay, so how do I explain this without going into too much detail? Because I know people about to have a whole bunch of questions. When you draw a minor structure, right? Minor structure can easily be broken. So you can have multiple minor structure fibs. And like I tell y'all all the time on calls, you never really move your major structure fibs, but your minor structure fibs, because it's minor structure, you understand that that minor structure is making up the entire big picture. So the big picture stays, and the minor structure is like the nuances that we making up to make this big, beautiful painting, right? So he had his on this Friday's impulse, which is why that hit his -27 there. I still had mine from that accumulation of that one, but they still always play out, right? So after it hit my -61.8, that shot up. And this is what I meant by, for people who don't understand minor structure, wait for the break and retest of the major structure trend line. So students who are on that trend line assignment right now with the minor and major, this is basically what that is, okay? So this is the major structure break. This is the major structure retest, and then I sewed beautifully on Sunday. I only had it push into here just because I had already had a -61.8 hit. And when you trade, it doesn't matter that you don't catch the entire move. What matters is that you catch what you see in right now, okay? So where we are now with the gold, we are literally in this big consolidation. What time is it? I feel like all these candles shouldn't be pushing like this, but whatever. That is, well, anyway. Right here, this structure to right here is 75 pips. Okay. So remember, gold in the middle of consolidation, you can catch easy money with. So I have this push into this blue zone. It'll probably consolidate there a little bit. Then I told my students, like, be mindful of this top trend line at the top up here. I think that was a 1 hour. I actually need to make this blue. I should actually make both of these blue. Hold on, y'all. I need my colors to be right. So because this is a 1 hour trend line and price is sitting on this 1 hour trend line. So follow me real quick. We got two trend lines that we work in red, okay? The first trend lines are these across the top. Second trend lines is this one. I'm gonna put it in bold so y'all can see it. So what I mean by watch this part is because we're literally sitting on this trend line right now, but this is a given to here, right? At this point, you need to see, is price gonna push back down, consolidate, is it gonna retest this trend line before coming back up? Because remember, even when it comes to zones, zones are an area, right? So we have a supply zone, demand zone, whatever, however you look at it, or support resistance, however you look at it. I use supply and demand zones because it's not a line, it's a range, right? So price can literally come anywhere inside of here. Price honestly can even pull lower because y'all see this wick. That's how far price went to. But with that being said, here, this is what I'm looking for. The reason I have this only come into here is because that is what is given. At the point in which it comes here, and this will probably be something that I have to like type out in the middle of the week once some more stuff plays out, you know what I'm saying? If there is a break and a retest of this blue here, it will come to this top trend line and give a bounce up here, which will basically be last week's zone that we had at last week's level of resistance. But do not assume that this is gonna break this and just hold a buy, because all of this level of support right here to the left is now being tested as a resistance to the right. Is that clear? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So this whole area right here, just wait for this to break and then carry it to here. But again, you need confirmation for that. And then we can have the continuation. But again, this is like long-term. not long term, but then that is when we have like kind of like I was explaining about GJ, like certain stuff, like I can foresee that this is going to happen, like let's say, I don't know, 2 weeks from now we have a strong fall, but you don't look that far out, right? Because we want the right now money. Okay. Yeah, and even with this candlestick exhaustion right here, like all this exhaustion on this 4 hour, this week, it probably will break this right here and then push up. But again, safe is what we look for in trading, because the number one rule in trading to me is take somebody else's money without your money being got. Okay, so we trade safely. We don't like drawdown. It's not a thing. What else did I want to go over with y'all? Oh, so y'all remember, what did I say was the money trade for last week? Okay, can I mute ourselves, please? Thanks. All right, so what did we say was the money trade for last week?
UJ.
Please tell me y'all caught it. Because before we got off the call, like literally,
yeah, I caught it.
I wish I actually had the recording, yo, because this just played out so to perfection. Okay. It played out so beautifully. And we even talked about it breaking, like, just like I gave y'all that gold trade where I said only carry it to this level, but is going to end up coming here. It's the exact same thing with what we have on UJ. So remember last week, I was like, only carry it to this zone, but it's going to end up coming to this red trend line. It's still going to end up coming there because that's a daily trend line. And then, like, really, we can draw a fib on this structure at this point. And then that daily trend line lines up with, like, the negative 27. That is confluence all day. What? Are you kidding me? It's beautiful. So yeah, so this is UJ, really. And then let UJ play out some more. And then once it hits there, it's probably going to consolidate again. Look and see. Once it gets here, well, I don't want to give y'all too far into the future, but right now, the analysis for UJ is this going to push up to this negative 27. Let it consolidate. It's already starting to form divergence here, but remember, divergence, you don't know when something is going to finish diverging. So you have to wait on those breaks and retests. But for real, right now, just like that USD CAD trade that I gave out like 2 weeks ago, once it hit, like once you got the money trades that just smack, you need to just leave that alone and just let it breathe and gain its like structure back from the big moves that it just made, because it gave you what it needed to give you. So it was just too beautiful though. Does anybody remember like even the confluences and the confirmations that we even talked about when it came to that? But yeah. Anybody remember? Not a thing.
We was in a descending channel and then we was at the negative 61.8 and we had divergence.
Come through, Mike Lito. Okay, come through. Yes, all of that. It was just too like, there's some trades where I talk about, like, y'all remember that time Omar was on the call and Omar, are you on here?
Yeah, I'm here.
What up?
What's up?
What's your favorite line?
I'm talking about let the market wait, please.
Yeah, that one. What is it?
I don't remember. I took it off the rim of my tongue.
Oh my God. Well, his line is,
let the market come to.
not let the market come to you. Is the market ready for me? Like, yes. Is it ready for me? Like, you can have stuff like literally all day, just the market moving. But when the market ready for you, you like know it. So this was selling. And we can say, okay, this is about to happen soon, right? But like when you, like last week when remember when I gave y'all all them trades for last week and I was like, all right, this gonna happen. But the money trade, the one you need to pay attention to, because remember we talked about two. It was this and it was gold after the break and retest of the trend line. But remember I told y'all gold be careful on it because we were in that consolidated area, but we knew that sale was like about to come and about to pop, right? And then the one before that was that EU. But this, like when you have trades like this just when you like, this when you smack it. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying over leverage, okay? But this when you just know that you know what you know and you just execute. Okay? Got it? Let's see. Jeff, I just read your message on here. He be cracking me up. All right, so anyways, where we were. You said what? Somebody just say something?
Yeah, even the analysis that the guy asked for US 50 played out as well.
You said what, Jonathan?
US 50 played out as well. The short analysis they did.
Oh, yeah. You remember last week, US 30. I'm sorry, Jonathan, I gotta mute you. But if you got something to say, you could take your thing back off. But it's like a whole bunch of static in the background of your thing. But definitely, if you have something else to say, just take yourself off mute. But yeah, so y'all remember Christopher asked me last week, could I analyze that US 30 trade? And remember, we talked about it coming here first, which was perfect. And then we talked about it coming to the bottom of the trend line. But remember, like I always say, and like I always give y'all, I care about right now, and then let the market show you what it's going to do next, and then come through with the rest. It's just that when we on these Sunday calls, like I don't give out the whole thing because I don't feel like a lot of y'all, this is just, well, actually it is me judging just because I know human psychology and I know people that don't know how to trade. You gonna be jumping in with no discipline and just get in just because. So I have to always make sure I monitor what I say because my name and my brand, and I'm not about to say sell something all the way if it ain't ready yet. So y'all see how this came here and it wicked and then came back up to retest this trend line right here before it fell. And mind you, this is US 30. So this was like 1,100 pips or 1,200 pips that day. And I think, yeah, price had happened right here. So this was actually like Tuesday where it fell these little 1,200 pips, then literally pulled back like 700. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what I mean by, even though, and it's so crazy because when you look at the market from like a bird's eye view and bird's eye perspective, it doesn't look like it pushed that much. But when you see that money in your account, that thing be pushing. You know what I'm saying? So you really gotta you gotta really make sure, and this is why I always talk about how entries are so important to me or why they matter so much to me, is because especially when you get to the point where you're using like larger lot sizes and stuff like that, like, of course, over the time in the course of you trading, like there's a certain comfortability that you gain, but y'all get what I'm saying, right? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm checking the chat. I'm sorry. Somebody just asked me something. Okay. But yeah, so it's a certain comfortability that you gain. So, but when you are like novice or not really used to trading, but you kind of understand a little bit, you really need to take it like step by step. That's why when I give these analyses, y'all remember I used to give, which I still do with my friends or my trading friends, but like where it's a full out analysis. Okay, this is coming here and it's like the entire move. Like, let me go to like old trades where it'll be like, where it'll be like a whole move. Like, you see how like, okay, this is like a longer structure now. I just be like, okay, these people, I need to make sure I don't give them too many moves at once so they aren't like, You know what I'm saying? Because I know some people, they get on this call and be hopping in trades on this call. And I'd be like, wait, like, can you listen to what I talk about when I say breaker structures, please? So yeah, that's that. And I didn't even really want to mark this up last week because I am on this challenge to prove a point to somebody. And I'll tell y'all what it is once it's finished. But I'm the type of person, I don't talk about stuff when I do it. I just do it and then I show the proof. Okay. So what else? I mean, really, y'all got a lot of setups this week. So I feel like y'all good.
No EJ this week?
Yeah, I'll look at EJ. I feel like EJ and EU are pretty much doing the same thing as GJ and GU though. Dang, all my little baby push-ups is happening right now.
No, they really are.
Are they? I have EJ pulling back. I have an EJ pulling back and then draw a trend line at the top of this. Yeah, something like it's gonna happen, something like this. So this gonna pull back and then at this trend line, look to see what's gonna happen. Just make sure it doesn't break and retest this negative 61.8 again. But this is the immediate moves, is this buy to this trend line structure here. So really, I mean, it's really not enough price to really draw a zone here. Like not enough for me to draw my zones, but I mean, I guess I could force one. So I have EJ pulling back, but it's already kind of started that pullback. This one I be hating that I be teaching and not trader, okay? Cause these is 15 minutes, so this literally happened within this past hour. But it's okay. There's always money to be made in the market. EU, I'm expecting a pullback on here also. Wait, didn't we go over EU? I think I did EU, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We went
Yeah.
to EU.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, did I just talk about USD yet? Okay, let me finish talking about this so I don't get sidetracked. So on major structure, this is where we at. So we have this impulse, this correction. Remember we talked about that, a whole big consolidation range. So we finally hit, or well, really we're like right at it. Let me make sure these one fib lined up because that's too close to have not hit. Hold on. There's a lot going on this chart. Okay, that wick touches and that wick does not touch. So hold on. Okay. All right, we're touching now. So let's see. So we are hitting now. Okay, great. So let me line that back up. That was, wait, actually I'm just gonna redraw it. Oh no, there we go. All right, there we go. All right, so point A to point B, price pull back. Now we at negative 27 on major structure, okay? Now, with this large impulse down, really, we can expect a pullback on this too, but let me think real quick. Because if I got EU and GU pulling back, then USD CAD probably gonna consolidate until GJ and GU push back down. You see how this is consolidating now? So you see how EU and EU and GU are rising and USD CAD is pushing down a little bit. I'm definitely expecting a big buy on this soon, actually very soon. So that minor structure pullback on GJ and GU, remember the full, like I'm expecting EU to fall totally. So this will rise totally, right? But we're paying attention to that minor structure right now. But because I'm not expecting USD CAD to really drop anymore, that means that this is just going to consolidate for a little bit. So let's just stay away from this from now. But really, let's say let me just, Jeff, that when I be marking these up, like literally what you just wrote is like playing through my head because I'm like, I really wonder if that's what people be thinking. You heard me.
So it's true then.
So let's say we consolidate for a little bit, like um, um, uh, I'm laughing because Jeff just made this reference to like this. I don't even know what it is. He watched Star Wars, so I don't know what who the man is, but he always be like, he'd be like a Jeff. What is it called?
I call you the Master Jedi.
Okay, so when I be doing these, and I feel like, because one time somebody's watching, they're like, "Yo, like, how do you do that?" I be like, "I don't know. God just gave me a gift for real, for real. It's a blessing."
That's going to be using the Force.
You say what?
I said you be using the Force like a Master Jedi.
It's so funny.
So you don't watch Star Wars, you don't know about that, right?
I know I don't, but I'm here for the Jedi. Okay. I know I watched Karate Kid before. It's like that.
Not exactly.
Okay, my bad. All
Don't
right.
worry.
Well,
It's all right.
I'm looking for a consolidation range that's going up. If y'all wondering what I'm looking for, but USD CAD, y'all know it's like a super choppy pair, so I'm trying to find something that's kind of is that, or to my what I want it to be. Put it like that. I need something long, like a long push over and then a push up, but I don't really see nothing that long.
Jessica, can I ask you a question out real quick off of your last chart from UCAD?
Yeah, what's that?
Do you trade like any correlation? Like, are you like, not heavy on correlation, but like, do you like factor in correlations when you like do your markup?
Yeah, that you're talking about when I was just like GJ. Yeah, and the fact that I'm pushing. Yeah, I do because, but it also depends on which economy you're really looking at because, and it's too big. That's kind of too big, but it's gonna do something like this. But I really don't want to get this big fat one. So let me find another one. But yes, I do. But it just depends on how strong the economy is that I'm going against, if that makes sense. So like, the reason I said that, okay, y'all know I can't multitask, so I have to get back to finding it in a second. Let me explain this. So actually, I'm just gonna take this one and I'm just gonna flip it, and y'all just understand what I just did. So when it comes to correlation, hold on, I really can't multitask. One second. Okay, there we go. All right, so this is what I mean by consolidation before the little breakout. It's still not perfect, but y'all get the point. So just get a little consolidation and then that push, and then when I actually push, it's gonna push to like that. So look for it to come to test. Yeah, retest that area. About that. That's about right. Okay. All right. So let me answer your question. With the Great British Pound and just when you have super strong economies, right? So a lot of people say, okay, well, because GU is pushing up, USD will be falling, right? That's the correlation that you're talking about when I just said, like, okay, because I'm expecting GU and EU to kind of rise right now, but I'm not really expecting USD CAD to really fall right now, it's because I'm looking at the Canadian economy is more so stable compared to Europe and Great Britain. It's like a lot of, that's kind of getting into fundamentals, but it's a lot of news that happens that can drastically affect that market to have big swings. Whereas like with the US dollar, it's such a major currency because literally every nation, not to say every nation uses it, but even with it started when our economy was backed by gold. That's the origination from it, but I ain't trying to get too in detail. But our economy is such a strong economy that the US dollar affects a lot of pairs. So when I said that, okay, USD CAD will be doing this and it will be consolidating, whereas EU and GU could give that push up and then drop drastically, the US dollar will, USD CAD isn't really going to move right now until the US dollar moves, right? So whereas tonight, GU and EU can be moving, US dollar isn't really going to move until morning. So that's what I meant by that's going to consolidate while these other pairs are going to do their thing like that, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Did that answer your question?
No, it does. I appreciate it.
Okay.
That's all I was asking. I just didn't know if you like actually took like, I didn't know if you were like a correlation like type of trader.
Oh, no, not really though. Like I don't use like heat maps or none of that. More so, I studied fundamentals heavily. If people be asking me, can I teach fundamentals? And I thought about doing like a course on fundamentals, but it's just so much information that I feel like I'm gonna waste my time because I feel like that's so judgmental to say, but I feel like people don't really read most of it.
Do you have any like websites? Like, do you have like,
Facts.
do you have like, because fundamental is like the one thing that I'm technical analysis and sentimental like all day, every day.
Yeah.
Like major and minor.
Yeah.
It's just like, you have a lot less drawdown than I do. So it's just like, all right, cool, let's study Jessica. But it's just like, I need fundamental work. And so it's just like, I'm looking for like fundamental courses, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, I've been saying I was gonna. I told people a long time ago. Not I told people because that means that I'm not keeping my word. It's just more so of I was trying to get a consensus of I had did this like poll. If somebody wanted a course with what they want to learn, more so what they want me to do a psychology course or a fundamental course. But the thing is, the reason I steered away from fundamentals is because I feel like it's just gonna be a whole bunch of questions without people doing research, and fundamentals is literally research. Like it is like, especially, and it's like one of the main reasons that I don't feel like you should trade a lot of pairs. Like not even just the sense of, okay, a jack of all trades and a master of none, like that's a real thing, but more so because once you actually get in the fundamental analysis and you're understanding what's going on in these different economies, you're not going to want to study every single economy. Like even when you look at geopolitical factors in America, the fact that you got to now study a whole different country that you don't even live in, geopolitical factors, and how those factors affect what is happening in that country and how that correlation moves to technicals, is like, I'm more of, I actually use both very heavily actually, but I only teach technicals because you can be extremely profitable just by knowing technicals only. But when you know them fundamentals too, it just be like, it's like that's when you get rich, because it's like you know without a shadow of a doubt, and then you have this to like line up with what it is that you are literally seeing that gives you your theory behind the justification behind the trade that you're taking and why you're taking that trade. With fundamentals though, I will say, like, I have friends that are fundamental only traders and their entries are terrible because they would just get in because they know what's about to happen in the economy. So they're like, oh, like, I know this is happening, but they don't care about drawdown. And it's the craziest thing to me because I think because I learned technicals first, I definitely care about drawdown 100% because it's like, why not try to get in at the best price possible? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you even want, like one of my friends tried to argue me down, like, okay, well, if you know where it's going, why do you care about the entry so much? He is a fundamental only trader though. He's like, I don't use trend lines. I don't need to use trend lines. And not only that, he's old. Like all my trader friends that are super wealthy, they're old as hell. Okay. Not okay, let me not say that because I got a lot of old friends. Okay, Miss Barbara, one of my best friends, y'all. But Miss Barbara is like young in her soul, and I'm old in my soul, so we like mesh. But what was I saying? Y'all know I get sidetracked easy. Okay, so he tried to argue me down of the factor that like, oh, like I don't need to use trend lines, I don't need to use fibs and all this other stuff. And I'm like, but the whole goal in any kind of investing that you do is to buy low and sell high. You want to get in at the best price possible to be able to extract the most money possible from whatever trade or thing that you're executing. So that don't really make sense to me, regardless if you know where it's going or not. Why would you not want to get in on the best price possible? So I feel like fundamentals, when you know them, is such a beautiful thing because you study and you're understanding that entire macroeconomic perspective. But technicals is what give you your entry all day long, for a fact. But yeah, I think that when you understand technicals, also you kind of foresee the future because you know what's about to happen, but you don't know what's about to happen. That sounds like a paradox. Okay, you know what's about to happen when you're marking up a chart. So you can literally mark up a chart and say, okay, when it gets to this trend line, I know it's gonna bounce if it's like something like this clear as day where you have multiple confluences, right? So you're like, okay, when this comes here, I know this is gonna do this, right? But you know that, okay, so when you understand that, when you're doing your technicals, you understand that something is about to drastically happen in this economy. I don't necessarily know what it is that's about to happen, but you can foresee the news events that's about to happen by foreseeing the fact that this is going to make the dollar weak. But I don't necessarily know the event that's about to happen that's going to make it weak, but I know that the US dollar about to be weak because it's coming to this level of resistance and it has to drop. Yeah. And it's such a mind-blowing thing because it also makes you feel like we're all controlled, like, because how it plays out so perfectly, it's like it really makes you be like, yo, like what world am I living in? Because you literally have people that stabilize economies and make news up so that the economy becomes back stable. Like even when you talk about supply and demand and how all these different countries work together in this literal exchange of currency, and how our entire currency and balance of our economy is based off of supply and demand of what country is operating at its best, in so many words.
Yeah, no, that makes sense because I understand like the what's most of the time, but I don't know the whys. And like sometimes it like really like kills me like in the market.
What do you mean?
Just like the fundamental aspect, like I'll know where the market is going, but like let's say it's a double bottom and I'm just like, okay, cool. I know that the market is supposed to go here, and then they come and do a triple bottom, and then it's just like, okay, now I'm in like 50% drawdown, or like, you know, well, not like 50%, but yeah, about 50%, like not even gonna lie to you.
Why 50 though? Do you over leverage?
Nah, it's not even over leveraging. Like proper risk management is just like riding a trade out, and then sometimes I might like try to maximize that loss, like that drawdown. I'll like go, okay, let me go ahead and put in a secondary entry here now that I'm back, like, you know, 50 pips. And next thing I know, it's just like, all right, they're both negative. The news is still in effect. And then it's just like 2 days later, we're you know what I'm saying, back at break entry, and then it's back going in the direction that I said it was going to go.
So I never want you to ever have 50% drawdown. Like,
Right.
I think that really just actually bothered my soul. That's not good. Okay.
Lost like a cool $85K last month.
So I need you to really like get that together. Because that's
Which is why Jessica Lane is, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's why I'm here.
Yeah, but listen though, like this is real because okay, Lil, I know you said you use proper risk management, and this really goes for everybody. Okay, like, y'all remember that time Miss Barbara told y'all that she made 78 straight wins, before she like upped her lot size, or no, she was making them 78 straight wins on US 30, but still like. She got to the point where she can pop standards on US 30, but it's a process. And I'm not saying that you don't have a process because I don't know you to make that assumption or judgment or whatever, but 50% drawdown is very like not okay. You know what I'm saying? Like you should never risk 50% of your capital because that means that once you get to the point where you have $500,000 in your account, basically you're saying you're gonna risk 250,000 of that dollars. Or what if you get to the point where you like Chantel, you got $600,000. Well, she got 800,000 in her account right now, and then you're gonna risk 400,000 of it. Like you gotta work on that. Them money, like really all it is money management. Because the thing is even if you take a trade and it goes. Now, I am not ever saying that a trade should ever go 100 pips drawdown, right? Never saying that. But even if all else fails, okay, and your trade completely go to hell, right? You should still not be in 50% drawdown. Like, because that is when you treat trading like gambling opposed to like a business. And in business, you always want your business to be afloat in on water. You don't want no business that's tanking, okay? So you really got to look at trading as a business and not like, oh, I'm about to run up the bag real quick. Because it's your job. It really is your job. It's just that the fact that when you are a trader, you are, you know, even as an entrepreneur, you just don't have a singular perspective in your whatever field it is that you're in. So when you are an entrepreneur, whatever business you have, you got to think about marketing. You got to think about, I don't know, your earnings. You got to think about everything. In trading, you don't just do one job. Like you really got to look at everything. So your money management, your psychology, your entries, your even everything on the chart from the technical perspective, like all of your confluences, what are your confirmations before you take this trade? How many confirmations do you have before you even take the trade? You know what I'm saying? Opposed to just saying, I think this about to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like even last 4 weeks of markups with my students, like sometimes that first week or second week, somebody will say, you know, I'll like go over the markups with them. Like you lost this trade because you like this was a whole trend line here. Why did you have price breaking this trend line? Well, I thought it was going to go here. Okay, well, you did not, like you're thinking and you aren't knowing. What do you see, not what you think?
And and that's what I'll say. Like that's one thing I've learned from just hopping on your Sunday calls. Like sometimes I do look at major structure a little too much instead of looking at my immediate money. Mm-hmm. And it's just like because I do so well as far as like win-loss ratio, it's just like, all right, sometimes I'm a little overconfident. And I'm just like, okay, cool, market's going here for sure. And it's just like, I'm just like, you know, I'll sustain the drawdown.
But the only bad thing about that is it gives you no room to trade anything else if you want to trade something else. Because even if that's the case, like I understand that, you know what I'm saying? Like I fully understand that because one of my best friends, y'all know Philip, like Philip will tell you all day long, he's a swing trader all day long, right? even though we are so close, we have two completely different opposite trading styles. But the thing about it is like, yes, you know the market is going from point A to point B, but your entry gives you the ability to maximize in one, not like, why go 50 pips and draw down to gain 80 pips? You know what I'm saying? When you can, like Omar said, wait for the market to be ready for you. Like, nah, it's not ready yet. All right, go on about my business. Blah, 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 blah,
I be
blah.
bored though sometimes, and I just, you know what I mean? Like, I be
That's
bored
the
sometimes,
truth,
and I'm
though.
like, don't do that.
But
And
this
it's
is
like, I know it when I do it.
this is the common misconception that people have, though, is that they feel like they always got to trade, and you don't. Like, you don't always have to trade because there isn't always gonna be a setup. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes on Sunday night calls, I be telling y'all, like somebody, like, you know how one time I think somebody asked me to mark up something, I was like, I'm giving you the trades that's like ready right now, or I'm showing you what is there right now. Like, if it's not something I show, well, first off, if it's not a pair I trade, then I'm not about to show it to you anyways, because I'm not about to get off track with my goals and my discipline for somebody else. But if it is a pair I trade and I didn't show it, 9 times out of 10, it's because it's not ready yet, or there isn't a move that happened, or it's sitting on like, or I'll give y'all the alternative perspective, like I did gold last week, like it's sitting on the trend lines. You need to wait for this to happen for this to happen. You know what I'm saying? But don't always think you got to trade, because you don't always have to trade. And the market not going to always be ready for you. That's why I don't even trade sessions really, like, at all. I just set my alerts. And when the market get to where I need it to go, then I look back at it for my interest, and then I get in.
And I was gonna say, that's another thing. I do trade like some time sequences, like things that happen daily in the market. Like, you know what I'm saying? They might happen like 83 to like 90 some percent of the time, you know what I mean? And so it's just like, okay, cool. This is, you know what I'm saying, played out the last like 40 out of 50 times that I've actually done this. And so it's just like, boom, okay, the one time the news happens, or like the one time like I was impatient, or, and so it's just like really disciplined. But like, I don't want to keep you. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know everybody else is here, so I appreciate like everything.
No, but the only reason I let you talk for so long is I felt like it was stuff that everybody needed to hear. Yeah,
Okay.
like, so it's all good. It's all good. But does anybody have any other questions? Because I'm about to shut it down. We already over an hour and 15 at this point. Anything anybody else want to say? I'll give y'all till 10 o'clock. Y'all got 13 minutes.
Yeah, are you gonna do the videos? Like, I know you had said I don't know, like some time ago that you were thinking about like doing, like, because you can't take everyone as your student, but like just kind of doing videos.
Oh yeah,
or
bro, I'm
selling.
shooting them on Tuesday. It's finally getting done. Listen, I've been working so hard. Okay. Listen, I did not mean to cut so much tonight. I'm tired. Okay. When I'm tired, I'll be like, nah,
Are you gonna do one on fibs? Because I have some notes on the fibs, but I can't. I kind of like have a lot of trade stuff I've written down, but I just kind of want to get something on the fibs.
I don't know if it's gonna be all the secrets up in that thing though. You know what I'm saying? Because this is my thing about it. Like, I don't.
I mean, you know, I've been listening to you for a while, so it's like some of the stuff I remember. It's just like I've written it here, I've written it there. So some of the stuff I remember is just I kind of want to write it down and just have it all in one central location. But like I know the negative 27 is like TP1, the negative 618 is TP2. 236, is that it? 236 is continuation, I think. Is it 236 or 238?
23.6.
Okay, 236 is continuation. Now you have touched on something like about a month ago, like if price pulls back to less than 50%.
Hold on, because I if you keep talking, I'm not gonna post this on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Let me mute then. Let me mute.
No, it's okay. You can keep asking for the people that's on here, but I'm not.